Hello, everyone. My name is Eliza, and I will be representing my topic today, embracing diversity and inclusion. So, before starting my TED Talk, I want to ask you all a very simple question. Do you ever find yourself scanning or looking through a TV show you're watching, trying to find a common-looking character that maybe you can relate to? Well, for me, that's been a problem that I've been experiencing for years and years before, luckily, I found out that this isn't just a problem regarding myself. In fact, many of my peers born in 2007, or just Gen Zs in general, often experience the same thing when they talk about themselves being represented in the media. So, is there a problem with diversity and inclusion in the media? Before getting deeper into the topic, what exactly is diversity and inclusion? Well, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, diversity and inclusion refers to the idea that all people should be treated equally, have equal rights, be welcome and included. So now, imagine this. You are a kid, and the first portrayals you see of yourself was being a maid, being a housekeeper, being incapable and relying on the other gender. Till then, the first time you saw a black superhero was Black Panther in 2020, and the first time you saw a princess who didn't need a prince to build an entire empire with was Frozen, Elsa, in 2013. Films and medias are such important medium to represent real life, but they tend to forget the minority. But why is that? Why is diversity and inclusion such a problem for the media? For such a long time in Hollywood, there's been numerous tactics to disregard and neglect the minority simply by using yellowface or blackface on a white actor and using them mostly for comical relief and entertainment. Or maybe if they did act, they would follow a racial trope like this. Black women usually would take on mammy roles, you know, the big black women you see in Gone with the Wind or Chicago, or Asian women, which we rarely see at all, but they usually take on the roles of the exotic Chinese women, making the perceptions of these minorities shallow and oftentimes offensive. These tactic has been used from as wisely as the 1910s to even most recently, the 2010s. So we can't really say this is a newfound problem. For example, even one of my favorite movies, Breakfast at Tiffany's, depicts an Asian tenor who have a very stereotypical English accent. However, in fact, he was a famous white actor. This is just one of many instances seen in the media, and yellowface or blackface is still a common occurrence in Hollywood, even in blockbusters, to disregard and neglect the minority. In fact, a study that I found conducted by Statista showed that the percentage of lead actors in movies only recorded 11% of minority actors in 2011 and only 22% in 2022. We can see that change is already prevalent, but is it fast enough? Not only do these representations have such an effect on us as individuals and viewers, but they also go as far as taking job opportunities and recognition from the actors themselves. If you're scrolling through the Oscars winner list, you're most likely to realize that almost half of the, not even half, but like almost all of the actresses who won are white actresses. And for me, not to say that it's a bad thing to see women given credits where it's due, but is it really true that if not, almost all of the best actresses in the industry are white? In 2002, Halle Berry won the Oscar Best Actress, And this left many to question, why did it take that long for a woman of color to win an Oscar? And why she's still the only woman remaining to have won this category. 22 years later, Halle Berry is still the only remaining Black woman to have ever won a lead actress Oscar. While her win, along with many other colored actors and actresses that night, signified a huge change towards race in cinematic history, many chose to mock it and making fun of it rather than talking about the change and significance it had. The one thing that we can all take from this is that visibility matters. But visibility alone does not mean diversity nor inclusion. Narratives repeated in our daily lives are such important medium to represent who we are, how we see each other, and most importantly, of ourselves. But some of the content that these industries distribute to the public remains the only form of representation that some of these individuals see. And some of the representation, large amount of representation, are largely inaccurate. So what would it look like if you're striving to reach something, your goals, and someone constantly puts you in a box and says, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that? Embracing and celebrating these changes is important because, well, look around. Not everyone is like one another, and while we are still progressing towards change, we've still got a long way to go. So next time, if you're faced with a piece of media, don't give in to stereotypes. Or maybe, if you see the problem, call out the problematic issue to your mom, your friends, your peers, teachers. A little change comes a long way. That's it. Thank you for listening.